Hello and welcome to EMAN, Effectively Making a Noise. I am your host, Cheryl Secrest, and today's story is David Becomes King of Judah and Israel. David becomes king of Judah and Israel. It's coming from 2 Samuel chapter 1, verses 26 through 2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 19. After King Saul and his sons had been slain by the Philistines in the battle of Mount Gilboa, David lamented with great sorrow over Saul and Jonathan for many days. He composed a beautiful eulogy, which is a speech in praise of someone dead, for his friend Jonathan, in which he said, "I am distressed for you, my brother Jonathan. Very pleasant have you been to me. Your love to me was wonderful, surpassing the love of women. How the mighty are fallen, and the weapons of war perished." After this, David inquired of the Lord, "Shall I go up into any of the cities of Judah?" And the Lord directed David to go up to the city of Hebron. So David took his family, and the men who were with him, and their families, and went up to dwell at Hebron. There the men of Judah came to him and anointed David king over the house of Judah. A number of years passed, during which there was a long war between the house of Saul and the house of David. But David grew in power and influence, while the house of Saul became weaker and weaker. In due time, all the tribes of Israel came to David at Hebron and said, "Behold, we are your flesh and bone. Also in time past, when Saul was king over us, you were the one who led out and brought in Israel. And the Lord said to you, You shall feed my people Israel, and you shall be ruler over Israel." So all the elders of Israel came to the king at Hebron, and King David made a covenant with them at Hebron before the Lord. And they anointed David king over Israel. David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years. At Hebron, he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months, and at Jerusalem he reigned over all Israel and Judah 33 years. David established his united kingdom in the city of Jerusalem. First he had to conquer and drive out the Jebusites, a hostile, which means unfriendly people, who had inhabited the region since the time of Joshua. In spite of stubborn resistance, David took the stronghold of Zion, which was afterward called the City of David. The king lived in the stronghold and built up fortified the city round about. And David grew more and more powerful, for the Lord, the God of hosts, was with him. With the generous assistance of Hiram, king of Tyre, who furnished cedar trees, carpenters, and masons, David built his royal palace up on Mount Zion, within the walled city. And David perceived that the Lord had established him king over Israel, and that he had exalted his kingdom for the sake of his people Israel. The Philistines, who occupied certain sections of the land of Israel, were displeased when they learned that David had been made king over all Israel. So at 2 different times they gathered their armies in a valley near Jerusalem and tried to capture the city. But both times David and his soldiers defeated them, because they fought the battles as the Lord commanded David to do. The Philistines did not attack Israel again while David was king. Sometime later, David remembered that the ark of the Lord was still in Kirjath-jearim, where it had been for 20 years, ever since it had been captured and returned by the Philistines. So he called all the people of Israel together, and they went to bring back the ark of the Lord to Jerusalem. After several mishaps, which means accidents that bring trouble and frightening experiences, the ark was finally brought to Jerusalem and housed in a tabernacle that David had prepared to receive it. The people celebrated its safe return with music and dancing and rejoicing. Sacrifices were offered to the God of Israel, and David blessed the people in the name of the Lord of hosts, and provided generous servants of food to all the people for a great feast of thanksgiving. And that is our story today. I want everybody to have a blessed day. Have a safe and blessed day. Peace out.